Okay, so last year, I flew from LAX to Hawaii, round trip for 4 days for free, for $0, purely because of credit card points. I have become both fascinated and obsessed with different credit cards and the points you can return and the different things you can do with those points. So in this video, I'm gonna go over the handful of different cards that I use and the ones that I think that you could use if you're either just starting out or if you're a business owner, a creator, or maybe you're more advanced and you have multiple credit cards already and just want to hear the ones that I'm into. Before we get into that, for this video to be shown to more people within the algorithm, I would really appreciate if you could click the thumbs up and if you could subscribe to the channel. I'm doing this for you guys and I really enjoy all of your support, so thank you very much. Let's dive into this. The first thing that I want to get into is the challenge with credit cards. I'm sure all of us have a similar experience of our parents telling us never to play around with credit cards because they can mess up your credit. And credit is this like very elusive thing that people just don't know a lot about and why it's important to you and why it's not. The reason why credit is important is because the better your credit score, the better you have a chance of getting lended money. So if like you wanna go and get a house, or you wanna go and buy a car, or you wanna get a credit card, you have to go to somebody that is going to lend you the money to fund that endeavor. And what they do is they look at your credit score being a reflection of your trustworthiness. So you wanna have a higher credit score. The lower your credit score is, the more it's almost like a red flag that you're not trustworthy for that money. This video is not gonna be an entire thing about credit, but I would make another one if you guys are super interested in that, because credit is actually something that's a little bit interesting. It's needed. It's a very unsexy topic, but I do think it's something that you should know. However, I do wanna say this about credit. The 3 things that really affect your credit score are utilization, derogatory marks, and payment history. Utilization is the amount of money that you have as a limit on your credit card versus the amount that you spend. The goal for your credit score to be high is to be under 30%. Ideally be 10% or below of utilization. So you gotta think about, if I just have one credit card and my credit card limit is $1,000, I can't be spending $300, $400, $500, $600, $700, $800, $900 per month on my credit card, because my utilization, which is one of the biggest things that affects your credit score, is gonna be too high. You really want to make sure that that percentage is extremely low so that your credit score can continue to stay high. Derogatory marks basically means that there is a flag on your account for something that you have done wrong. Maybe there's a collections agency that is trying to get payment from you, you have a balance that's overdue, you have late fees, some sort of mark on your account. That leads into payment history. You have to pay your balance on time. The most important thing that everybody should be thinking about is setting up auto pay on every credit card. That way you don't have to think about it. Set up auto pay so that you are not taking a balance into the next month, collecting debt, collecting interest, and even worse, missing payments, because that will be a major issue on your credit score. Now, there's a couple other things that help with your credit score. The amount of time that you've been collecting and building credit. So if you've had a credit card that's been open for 8 or 9 or 10 years, the longer it's been going and in good standing, the better your credit score gets. The more accounts that you have open that are in good standing, the better your credit score gets. So think about, a lot of people tell us don't open multiple credit cards. It's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing to open multiple credit cards if you can keep them in good standing. If you're paying the bills on time, if you are using them and you're actually paying for the fee of using them, and you are collecting good credit, that will build up your credit score. So to summarize on credit, pay off your cards in full, treat it like a debit card, don't spend money that you don't have, and in due time, you will actually be building your credit up, which will be a good thing for you when you come to buy a home, buy a car, or need money for anything else. So here's why I like credit cards. They are great if you are a business owner or if you are spending and coming up to a point where you are about to spend a lot. It's great to open a new credit card because a lot of these companies have offers. Let's dive into this. So the first card that I use is the Amex Platinum. This is the Amex Platinum business card and it is attached to my business. It's a $695 annual fee, which I know sounds crazy, but let me just tell you some of the things that it comes with. 5 times points on hotel and travel booked through Amex. 1.5 points on purchases over $5K or more. $150 to Adobe and the suite of products that Adobe offers. $189 to clear, a free credit for global entry or TSA pre-check. A lot of the lounges at airports like Amex Centurion Lounge, Delta Sky Clubs, the Global Lounge Collection, Priority Pass, Marriott Bonvoy Elite status, Hilton Honors Gold status. You get a business platinum card concierge. And with the current offer right now, you get 150,000 bonus points after you spend $15,000 within the first 3 months. So again, if you're a business owner and you're placing orders on things or you're spending high amounts, it's a great card for you because with that 150,000 points, you can book things like travel and hotels and so on and so forth. Just for reference, when I booked my trip to Hawaii, that was round trip. It was in the off season, but the total for round trip here and back for flights was about 50,000 points. Now, there are some challenges or cons with this card as there are with every card. This isn't a great card for just everyday spending. You don't get a ton of return or points accumulated over everyday spending like you would on a couple of these other cards, but this card is a great one for you to use for travel. And obviously there is that high annual fee of $695, but after listing out everything that comes with the card, in my eyes, it is something that is highly worth it. The difference between the Amex Business Platinum and Amex Personal Platinum, the Personal Platinum, the offer right now is 80,000 points after you spend $6,000 on purchases within the first 6 months. So not as high of an offer right now, but also you don't have to spend as much to get that offer. You don't get the 1.5 points return on big expenses, and you don't get the Adobe credit. But here's some things that you do get if you want the Amex Personal Platinum. $300 to Equinox, $20 monthly to something like Hulu, ESPN, or Disney Plus, $200 to Uber Eats, and $100 to Saks. Everything else aside from that is pretty similar to the business Amex, so some pros and some cons to both. The next card that I use is the Amex Gold Business Card. This one has a $295 annual fee, and here's what it comes with. 4 times on points for these select categories. Any airfare purchased directly from an airline, so if you go and book on American or United or Southwest or whatever, you're gonna get 4x on that purchase. Any purchases at gas stations, any purchases at restaurants or takeout, any purchases for shipping, any purchases made directly from certain technology partners, which in my opinion, those ones aren't that great. But the other big one is any purchases in select media, meaning if you are running ads on TikTok or Meta, you will get 4x on the money you're spending on those ads. I have literally watched my fiance accumulate millions of points from advertising and using this card to get that 4x return on the money that she is placing on advertisements. So that one is big. The Amex Gold, just like the Amex Platinum, has no preset spending limit, and the offer that you can get right now for this one is 85,000 points after you spend 10K within the first 3 months of your membership. So again, another one that has somewhat of a high annual fee of $295, but when you think about all the things that you can get from it, if you don't have a credit card and you're just spending that money on ads, you're not getting anything back, whereas if you have a card like this, yes, you're paying $295 up front, but when you look at all the things that you're getting back from it, you could book a full vacation trip with the amount of points that you could be getting back. The next card I wanna go over is actually a hotel card. It's the Marriott Bonvoy business card. And here is why I got this one. When you start to travel, you realize that it's pretty easy to start to stay at similar hotels. Once you know the taste of hotels that you have, you start to recognize that a lot of these hotels operate under the same umbrella, something like a Hilton, a Hyatt, or a Marriott. These hotel chains will offer credit cards. So Amex has one with Marriott. They also have one with Hilton. And if you're already going to be staying at these hotels, might as well get some sort of return on that you're already gonna be spending. So here is why I got this one. With this card, you get 75,000 points up front after you spend 3K on the card. Those 75,000 points could probably be redeemed for a couple of nights in a hotel. You also get gold status automatically, and what gold status does within the Marriott program is, one, they just treat you better. When you check in, they acknowledge that you are a member, and the things that you actually get is late checkout, you get some member rate discounts, so when you're booking hotels, You might be able to get it for a cheaper price because you are a member. You get free Wi-Fi and internet access in your room, and they give you a separate member telephone number. So if you have any customer service issues, we all know that at hotels, some things might not go right. You actually get like a dedicated number that you can call somebody and you just get a little bit better of customer service. The last thing that you get, which I think is the most important and the reason why I continue to keep this card on, even though there is that annual fee, is because every single year you get one free night. They have a thing called the Annual Free Night Award, which means that you get to book one room for under 35,000 Marriott points once a year. So I used this when we were on vacation and we wanted to stay an extra night, and rather than paying for the night up front, I used this annual free night. It cost me $0. We got to stay an extra night for free. So it's not absolutely insane the amount of things you're gonna get from a hotel card. It's not like you're staying for a week, you know, in a penthouse just because you own the card. But for $125, you are improving your credit score, and you're also getting all these perks like, you know, an annual night or getting a little bit better treatment when you are going to the places that you're already going. So it's worth it to have. The last two cards that I have are actually airline cards, and the first one is the Southwest Rapid Rewards Performance Business Credit Card. The same thing like I was mentioning with the hotels. With airlines, if you're gonna be frequently using that airline, you might as well look and see if they have a credit card that is affiliated with it so that you can get some sort of rewards on the money that you're already spending. Think smarter, not harder. There was one reason and one reason only that I got this card and that you guys should think about it, and that is that Southwest offers something called the Companion Pass. If you wanted to bring somebody on a flight with you for free on every flight that you are on, you can do it. Here's how. Once you earn 135,000 points on Southwest, you get to choose somebody to be your companion on every flight. You will get it for the remainder of that calendar year that you hit that number and for the following calendar year. So think about this. Let's just say you get the Southwest card at the beginning of 2023 and you spend a ton and hit that bonus in March, April, May of 2023. You now, for the rest of 2023 and for all of 2024, have a companion pass on Southwest so that you can designate somebody to come on every single flight that you purchase for free. So for me, it made sense to do with Samantha that if we hit that bonus, now anytime that we're flying to visit relatives, to visit friends, to go wherever we want to go on work, if she's coming on the flight too, we just book one flight, add our companion, and now we're both flying for the cost of one person. To get there though, you do have to hit that 135,000 points. The intro offer that is still available right now, which is the same offer that I had, is you can get 80,000 points after you spend $5,000 in the first 3 months. So if you are somebody, again, like a business owner or somebody that is spending a lot, and you have something coming up that you'll be spending a lot of money on, it could be smart for you to think about getting this Southwest card, hitting that bonus, and then trying to push really hard to get to that 135,000 bonus, because then as soon as you hit that, you'll have the companion pass for the rest of this year and the following full calendar year. Now, the cons of this credit card is after that full calendar year, you lose the companion pass. So if you're just gonna be doing it and you only have it for 1 year, it might not be worth you trying to like really maximize your spend and hit that bonus to get that companion pass. The other con is, it is Southwest. If you're not a fan of Southwest and you don't like the way that they operate, probably not the card for you. And the last thing I would say is, this isn't a card that you would use for really anything else other than trying to hit that companion pass. Now, the last card that I have before going into the cards that I like and that I will be getting soon is the American Airlines Advantage Aviator MasterCard. Now, this one is actually done through my personal account, not through my business. And I want to tell you why I got this one and why I think you should and should not get this card. To be completely honest with you, there is not that many advantages to getting this card. The ones that they do offer are, you get a free checked bag every time you are on American Airlines, you get priority boarding, you can get $25 back on the Wi-Fi that you buy on the plane, and like any of these rewards programs, if you are a member, sometimes the staff just end up treating you a little bit nicer. The reason why I got this card is because there was an intro offer for 60,000 points with spending a single dollar on the card, and there was no annual fee for the first year. So I decided to do it on a whim while I was on a plane. The flight attendant was a great saleswoman, and I decided, you know what, I actually don't have any credit cards that are building my personal credit right now, so might as well sign up for this one and get the intro offer. So immediately after getting the card, I earned the 60,000 bonus just from literally buying a pack of gum. And from those 60,000 bonus points, I was able to book round trip to Hawaii for about 40,000 points. So now I rarely ever use that card. I don't spend really anything on it. I just have a single subscription that is attached to that card. So it's building up my credit by paying off on auto pay every single month and using a very small limit of what that credit card allows, so it can build my personal credit. But I don't recommend you guys do that and just sign up to random things because the offer is good. I really recommend that you do the due diligence and think about if it is a card that you will use continually. Otherwise, you end up just having credit cards and keeping them around for no reason. There's a couple cards that I also really like that I think you guys should check out if you aren't interested in Amex and you want to get something different. Here's the cards that I think you guys should know about and that I am thinking about getting right now. First is the Chase Sapphire Reserve. It's a personal card that is like the Amex Platinum, but for Chase. You can earn 60,000 bonus points after spending $4,000 in the first 3 months. You get 5x on flights, 3x on dining and travel, and you have a $300 annual travel credit. And then the big one on that card is you get 10x on hotels and rental cars, and you also get global entry or TSA pre-check. So this is one that I would kind of compare to the Amex Platinum. You get decent on everyday spending, but not as good as this next one that I want to talk to you about. The next one that I really like is the Capital One X Ventures. There's a $395 annual fee. This is also one that is somewhat premium like the Amex Platinum or the Chase Sapphire Reserve. But the cool thing about this one is you get 10x on hotels and rental cars, 5x on flights, and the crazy thing is 2x on every purchase every day. That is something that you don't get on the Amex Platinum or on the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Right now, Capital One has the welcome offer of 75,000 miles after you spend $4,000 in the first 3 months, which is a similar kind of offer to the Chase Sapphire Reserve. The last credit card that I think a lot of people should be thinking about is the BILT Rewards card. This one has a $0 annual fee. You get 2x points on travel, 3x points on dining, and the crazy one that is making people really like this card is you get 1 point for every dollar that you spend on rent. So if you're somebody that is renting in an area that has high cost of rent, it might be a good card for you to get with a $0 annual fee for you just to be racking up points on the rent that you're spending. So those 3 credit cards, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, the Capital One Ventures X, and the BILT Rewards card are the 3 that I have my eye on right now in thinking about getting, and those are some that I think you guys should really consider. So that is it. I'm very excited for you to get on your credit card journey. I'm gonna put links to everything in the description, some of those welcome intro offers and different places that you guys can find credit cards. And I encourage you to do your own research and find the ones that are right for your situation. I wish you the best. Thank you for watching. Much love.